Dr. Pepper Zero, not sponsored. Friends, Romans, countrymen, welcome back and welcome home, welcome home. You're all probably wondering why I've gathered you here today. And I don't know if you've looked at the news recently, buddy, but things are not looking too hot for the old EARTH over here and the people on it. That means you, my friend. You watched the news recently? We got we got earthquakes, we got tsunamis, we got fire, we got famine, we got war, we got we got heat waves, we got heat stroke, we got melting of the global ice caps, we got global warming, we got racism, we got sexism, we got it all, baby. Things are not looking too good, not looking too hot. You know, as REM once said, it's the end of the world as we know it. But I feel fine. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. That's why I'm here. Because actually, if you are one of the few lucky people watching this video, then you're gonna be just fine. Doomsday is gonna pass you right by, my friend. Not even worth a sweat. Not a trickle off your brow. Because you're watching my survival guide about disaster movies from the late 90s to early 2000s, which is obviously what you need to survive a real apocalypse, or a giant seismic event, or giant fire, or giant volcano. Any number of things that could roll your way and result in the death of you or your loved one. But you don't have to worry about any of that, because we're going to cover it all right here, right now. And I got a fun little rule book for you to follow, so you'll know exactly how to approach any situation or alien invasion that you might come across. So we're gonna hop right into that after these quick messages. Okay, people, get your notepads, get your pens out, because we're going down the list. These are our non-negotiables. These will always be in your disaster movie every single time without fail. And if you want to survive the apocalypse, you better start emulating perfection, my friends. Number one, there must be a divorce of some kind. Either you are getting it, you've had one, your parents are getting one, they've had one. I will accept death of spouse, widow or widower, but I prefer divorce. Divorce is gonna win it out for me every single time. It is in every disaster movie. Every single one. Someone is separated. It's great if you rekindle the marriage. It is not a necessity. You just need to be separated in some capacity. Not together. Divorced. In conjunction with this, right below parentheses, you could count this as number 2. You could also count it as part 2 of number 1, a strained parent-child relationship. If you don't have a divorce, you must have this. It's great if you have both, because a lot of the times they go hand in hand. Boy, girl, father, daughter, son, mother, preferably father, son, preferably father, daughter. Number 3, random pet. Preferably dog, sometimes cat. Dogs are a lot easier to keep track of. They can run around with you, they can do the do. And it has to have a stupid name. Something kind of annoying, but you still want to root for them. And the dog is like, it's insurance, you know? If you die, the dog's not gonna die. Dog knows how to live. Dog's a wild animal, or was at one point. Could be again after the end of the world. The dog is always gonna pull through. That was 2. Dog was 2. Numero 3. We need a destruction of an identifiable monument, preferably something in America. I'm talking Golden Gate Bridge. I'm talking Statue of Liberty. I'm talking Grand Canyon. I'm talking Times Square. I'm talking, if you're a disaster movie before 2001, the Twin Towers. Yikes. I mean, guys, we were just giving them inspiration at that point. It's in so many of these movies. If we're going abroad, it's got to be something really identifiable. Take the Eiffel Tower, for instance. This is my roommate's. Hi, Elijah. It needs to be identifiable for the American populace. Otherwise, why should they give a They don't care. We're talking about America, baby! America don't care about nobody but America. That's just the way the American cookie crumbles. Number 4. Numero 4. We need a nerd. We need a nerd of some kind. Somebody who's top of their field. Maybe a seismologist, a gynecologist, somebody who works with plants, animals, trees, the ocean, whales. I don't know. Drilling expert. Somebody knows how to work an oil rig really well. Fisherman. They just have to be the absolute best at whatever they're doing. If it applies to what the natural disaster is, that's great. If it doesn't, it'll probably loop back around. You know, you'll figure it out. I don't have all the fucking answers. What are you looking at me for? And then what I want you to do is, I want you to ignore the hell out of this nerd. piss him off. Well, what are you talking about? You're just a nerd. We don't listen to nerds here. We don't like nerds. We like cool people. Cool people know how to prevent the end of the world. No, they don't. And number 5. Now, this one doesn't always happen. It completes the set here if we can get it. If we get all 5, you are going to live. You are going to live. And number 5 is an old person who can bite it for you. To hasta la vista, baby. Just some oldie who's gonna die in a really kind of grotesque and painful way, but you're not gonna feel too bad about it because they're old. You know, they're already on the way out the door. You're just helping them along. They're making a bold and noble sacrifice. They're dying so you can live. And those are the 5 essentials. If we can't get number 5, 4 is good. Here are some honorable mentions. An annoyed general is great. Someone to stand there gruffly and go, what in God's name? What the hell? Dear God, Mother of God. A lot of those, dropping a lot of those lines, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that you're probably gonna be okay. I need someone to say, get me blank on the phone. Give me yada yada on the line right now. One of those. We love a random sidekick death. Somebody you kind of don't like, but also you don't want to see them die. You don't want to see them die, but you would be sad. You'd be sad if they died, but you wouldn't be sad for more than about 30, 45 seconds, maybe a minute if they're really important. Stupid children is great. They're not gonna die, so we don't kill children here. If they can cause the death of a lot of other people with their stupidity, that's great. Need a failure to alert the public. The disaster is discovered too late. It's discovered early and we don't tell the public. We try and tell people, but they don't listen. Anything along those lines, that's fantastic. I think we've pretty much covered the important stuff. And now we're gonna hop into the movies. We're talking about 10 movies here, 10 to pull from. Dante's Peak, Deep Impact, Armageddon, Independence Day, War of the Worlds 2005, War of the Worlds 2025. This one is a little honorable mention in there. Twister, Day After Tomorrow, Volcano, and The Core. These are our 10 movies that we're talking about today that will round out our survival guide. Let's get right into it. I don't got time for this. The world's ending as we know it. And I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV hour. So we're starting off with a classic, ladies and gentlemen. 1997, Dante's Peak. Ka-chow, ka-chow. Volcano movie. Let's go, baby. This was directed by, who is it? Roger Donaldson. That stars Pierce Brosnan, 007, and Linda Hamilton. Volcano, determinate. Pierce Brosnan is our resident volcanologist who studies volcanoes. Yay! So we got our nerd check. And he's a widower. Yay! His wife died. Even better. Linda Hamilton is the mayor of Dante's Peak, this tiny little idyllic mountain town that has a volcano underneath it that's about to erupt, and nobody knows. And Pierce Brosnan has to go in and tell them all about the volcano, but nobody's gonna listen to him. This movie is pretty much exactly what you'd expect. It's a fun one, though. What I personally really love about this movie is that it uses mini models for all the explosions. Bring that back. You know, things are really blowing up. It's not CGI. I want to see tiny things explode and get covered in lava. Most of this movie is Pierce Brosnan just trying to get laid, which I cannot blame him because it's Linda Hamilton. I mean, come on. Her character is separated from her husband. So we're checking some boxes here. We got widower, we got divorced, we have 2 annoying kids, Linda Hamilton's children, and we also have a dog. Yay! The dog's name is Ruffy. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be like ruff, ruff, like bark, or like rough around the edges. There's some pretty gruesome early on pre-disaster discovery deaths. This couple gets like boiled in a hot spring and it's crazy, and like there's a bunch of squirrels dying from like the CO2 levels or something. I don't know. The lava chases are pretty crazy. A lot of suspension of disbelief in this one. There are a lot of moments where these people should be dead, and it's just God's honest truth. But we're willing to let it slide because Pierce Brosnan knows about volcanoes, ladies and gentlemen. And the crazy thing is they bring him in to like, it's like out of his way. Like he wasn't going to go check Dante's Peak for volcanic action, but then like one of his buddies is like, come on, just come check it out. And then when he's like, I think this volcano is going to explode, everyone is like, what are you talking? No, Dante's Peak wins the best town of the year contest or some bull. like that. We don't want people to think there's a volcano here. Everyone loves living here. Everyone loves living here. A quintessential grandma death scene in this movie, and it is brutal. And it's actually Linda Hamilton's mother-in-law, so it's like her ex-husband's mom. But grandma's up on the mountain when the volcano starts to explode, and the kids take the car. They take a vehicle and go to get grandma, and they bring Ruffy, the dog, with them, which just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They go all the way up there, and then they take forever to get grandma out of the house, and then Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton gotta go after them to save the kids and grandma and Ruffy and blah blah blah. And then they catch grandma, but all this lava's coming suddenly out of nowhere. There's tons and tons of lava, so they have to get on a boat and go in the lake. But then suddenly the lake has turned to acid. I don't remember the explanation they gave for this, but it's pretty horrific. The boat starts to melt, they can't paddle in the water, but they're so close to the dock. They're so close to the dock, but their oars have dissolved, and they're like, Pierce Brosnan is like wrapped a shirt around his hand, he's like paddling in the water, and they're like, here's the dock, here's them. And they already have some momentum going, but they're not going to make it before the boat melts into the water. So what does grandma do? She jumps into the acid lake and pulls them to the shore, and her legs are dissolving in the water, and she's she lets out these like awful screams. She's like walking alongside the dock, and they're like, grandma, like reaching out to her, and then she like collapses onto the shore. Then she dies in like a really slow and painful, it's a truly horrific scene. Like, I don't know, you could just have like grandma get run over by a reindeer, not dissolved into a lake of acid. But basically it ends with them getting trapped in like an old abandoned mine. And they get like caved in and they survive the eruption, but they're like stuck in this mine. And there's like a faulty piece of NASA equipment that they had. They couldn't get to work at the beginning of the movie. Pierce Brosnan has like broken his leg, or he's been impaled or something. Compound fracture. That's what it is. Gross depiction of this compound fracture that Pierce Brosnan has. And he's laying in the bed of this truck, and he's like caved in, and Linda Hamilton and the kids are in a different part of the cave, and he gets this machine running. And you're like, oh, he did it. Pierce, double-O. It cuts to his volcanologist team in their like lab outside of town. Like it cuts immediately. So you think it's happening right after he turned on the signal. Somebody points and goes, how long has that light been on? The light that shows that the signal is receiving from the machine. And another character goes, well, a couple of days. I'm sorry, what? A couple of days. So we're just time jumping, and he's been in there for a couple of days with his fucking femur sticking out of his leg, and he's not. And then they go and the suspense, and they get him all out of the cave, and he's fine. He's like smiling and like laughing at everybody, like his bone isn't popping out of his fucking. Drove me a little bonkers. So overall, we got divorce of some kind, strained parent-child relationship. That's definitely there. Death of an old person, stupid pet, failure to alert the public. We got a lot. Okay, we're gonna rate these movies on two things. Survivable in this level, how stupid the main characters are, and how good I actually think the movie is. So survivable in this level, I think this is like a 6 out of 10. I think it's pretty survivable. They alerted the town, people evacuate. The majority of people seem to survive. Stupidity of the characters, kids are very dumb in this one. Real dumb. Pierce Brosnan's pretty smart, but everyone makes a lot of dumb decisions. Not that stupid. I'd say the stupidity's like a 5. We're like middle of the road here. A lot of dumb decisions, a lot of kind of smart ones, but no one's really making any good choices, honestly. How enjoyable I think this movie is. This is 6.5 out of 10. Fun, good action sequences, good main cast, not the most engaging plot at times. Okay, moving on. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the 1998 classic Deep Impact. This is a fun one. Director of this is Mimi Leder, not really sure how to say that. And it tackles a very classic 90s premise. The Earth is about to be destroyed by a giant meteorite or asteroid or whatever you want to call it. I cannot remember the scientific difference of these right now. Who's in this cast? We got Téa Leoni. My dad cannot stand her. Elijah Wood, young Elijah Wood, pre-Frodo Baggins Elijah Wood. We got Morgan Freeman as the president. We got Jon Favreau, bonus points for John. Robert Duvall is also in this. He's the old grizzled astronaut. He knows his job. And basically, a comet is hurtling towards Earth, and the public doesn't know. It could mean the end of all human life if it's not averted. But then Téa Leoni accidentally uncovers the truth, and then they have to tell the whole world that they may or may not die within the next couple of days. There is a divorce. Téa Leoni, her parents' characters are divorced, so we got a divorce going on there. The whole rest of the plot is that Robert Duvall has to lead his little team of astronauts on the comet and blow it to smithereens so it doesn't destroy most of the planet. Elijah Wood plays a little boy who discovers the comet, and then they name it partially after him. The big question is, was this made at the same time as Armageddon? Yes. These movies were released really close to each other. One of them is significantly better. I would not say either of them are particularly realistic. I would say Armageddon is more fun. This was released in May of 1998. Armageddon was released in June of the same year. So the writing in this is pretty good. Our main characters aren't super compelling. I don't really give a about Téa Leoni and her divorced parents. We got strange parent-child relationship because her and her dad had major beef because he divorced her mom for a younger woman, and now they're getting married. And then the mom herself before the meteor strikes. And then there's this whole subplot with Elijah Wood. They split the population up, so some people are going to go into underground bunkers to survive the apocalypse. There's like a lottery system for determining who goes in the bunkers, and Elijah Wood and his family are allowed to go because he discovered the comet, but his little girlfriend can't, so he gets engaged. They get married, and they're like, I don't know, like 13, 14 years old, maybe younger, and then he's going to take his girlfriend in and her family too, but then they won't let her family go, and then she's like, no, I'm staying with my parents. Her parents are like, what? And then he's on the bus, and he's like, no, because his little girlfriend's getting left behind, and it's so sad. So then he gets to the bunker with his family, and then he turns to his parents at the doors of the bunker. They're like on the other side of the country now, because they were in Virginia beforehand, I think. Go Virginia. And he's like, I have to go back, with his big Elijah Wood eyes. So then he travels all the way across the country to get his girlfriend. And my parents, when we were watching this, because we all watched this as a family, they were like, what the? I would never let you go. That's probably true. But they let him go anyways. He reaches his girlfriend. He's like on his little motorcycle, and he pulls into this crowd of people, and they're trying to evacuate before the other part of the asteroid hits the Earth, because they were able to avert some of it, but not all of it. And he's driving, and he sees her, and he's like screaming, and they like hug, and then her parents are like, take the baby and go, because she's a baby sister. And she's like, no, I don't want to leave you guys. They're like, go, take her, take the baby. So then they're on the bike, and they're trying to get to high ground. They've got the baby, and then there's like a huge tidal wave, like a tsunami coming in because of the impact from the first part of the asteroid. But yeah, it's crazy. And then the tidal wave comes, and Elijah Wood and his little girlfriend survive. And then Téa Leoni and her dad finally reconcile, and then they drown on the beach together in the tidal wave. So we have old person death, but Téa Leoni also dies, but I don't really think she's our main character here. I think Elijah Wood ultimately is like our hero of the story. We have plenty of annoyed generals. We have plenty of stupid kids making stupid decisions. We have a failure to alert the public. That is a big check right there. We have destructions of identifiable monuments. Oh my God, does that happen in this movie? It's all over the damn place. Overall, okay, let's see our 3 ratings here. Number 1, survivability. So I think I would die. If I'm not in the bunker, that big tidal wave, the big tsunami, that seems pretty hard to get by. That seems pretty hard to survive, honestly. Kind of exhausting. Very stressful. Very scary. Scary for me. How stupid the characters are. I think there's plenty of dumb people in this. When they're going on the space mission, they make plenty of stupid decisions. The whole reason that Téa Leoni finds out that this asteroid is gonna hit the Earth is because she thinks that this defense secretary is having an affair, and the name of the asteroid is the woman that he's having the affair with, because she gets this dumb scoop. It's all very like kind of stupid choices. The parents of Elijah Wood's little girlfriend make everyone's dumb in this movie. I think this is like 7 out of 10 on the stupidity scale, because everyone makes really dumb choices in this. How enjoyable I think this movie is, I think this is an 8 out of 10, honestly. For everything that I've said, it really tugged on my heartstrings. I cared about Elijah Wood and his girlfriend. Maybe it's just the romantic in me. Everyone else I didn't really give a shit about. The more I talk about it, the more I want to lower the rating. 6 or 7 out of 10. It's no Armageddon. I'll tell you that right now. Moving on. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get right to the meat, the potatoes, the one, the only disaster movie, Armageddon, baby. 1998, Michael Bay. This movie is everything you want from an end-of-the-world disaster movie. It's got it all. It's got divorce. It's got strained parent-child relationship. It's got goofy sidekicks. It's got nerds being ignored. It's got pissed-off generals. It's got old people biting it, or older people biting it. It's got cheesy dialogue. It's got like a heist assembly scene. It does it all, and it executes it flawlessly. I love this movie. How could you not? It's got Bruce Willis. It's got Liv Tyler. It's got Ben Affleck. It's got Steve Buscemi, Billy Bob Thornton, Owen Wilson, Michael Clark Duncan, William Fichtner, Peter Stormare, Keith David. He's our pissed off general. Look at this bunch. How could you not love this? It's got Jason Isaacs. It's so good. Plot summary, nice and simple. Big asteroid gonna hit Earth. Billy Bob Thornton, scientist, hires team to drill into asteroid, blow it up, make asteroid not hit Earth. But wait, astronauts don't know how to dwell? People who are pilots and scientists who know how to fly aircraft and space engineers, they don't know how to dwell into a rock. Well, let's get the big tough guy who does. Bruce Willis every time, baby. So they hire a bunch of oil riggers to drill into the asteroid and blow it to smithereens. Soundtrack is so good. Crazy destruction scenes right in the beginning. We get a lot of death. A lot of CGI. I prefer models, but some of this happens in space. I will say this movie is so good up until they go to space, and that's when I start to not give a shit, which is ironic because you think once we get to the asteroid stuff, that's when we're gonna care. But no. J.J. Abrams wrote this screenplay, which I did not know. There's a great scene when the asteroid is first discovered where the guy who finds it, like, him and his wife are bickering and he's on the phone with NASA or whatever, and like, well, what do you want to call it, Bill? And he was like, name it Michelle after my wife. And she's like, oh. And he goes, because she's a vicious, life-sucking from which there is no escape. Like that happens within the first 5 minutes of this movie, and you know we're off to the races. And it's just, it ramps. The stakes are raised in this movie like literally every 15 seconds. We establish the asteroid, and then it cuts to the South China Sea, and Bruce Willis is hitting golf balls off an oil rig. It's incredible. He chases Ben Affleck around with a shotgun because he's banging his daughter, who's Liv Tyler. And Steve Buscemi's there, and he's kind of a little pervert. We love pervert Steve. It's such a fun role for everyone. Honestly, the script is just really fun for like the first hour and a half. This is a long-ass movie. There's so much happening. This is the movie for people with short attention spans because it just booms. Next scene, next scene, next scene, next scene. Explosions, new action, snappy dialogue. But also, it's like weirdly long. Yeah, this movie is almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 33 minutes. And it's just like a fucking torrent of information constantly. Bruce Willis is divorced. It's just him and his daughter against the world. We love that. Just to set the tone again, Billy Bob Thornton says unironically, when their scientists are like trying to come up with how to like divert the asteroid, one of them suggests like attaching like a sail to it to try and catch solar air and direct it in a different direction. He goes, we gotta come up with something realistic here, guys. And their solution is to send a bunch of oil drillers up in a spaceship and have them nuke the asteroid. That's the realistic solution here. Bruce Willis says they don't know jack about drilling, about the astronauts, and you know what? You fucking believe in those stupid nerds. They don't know jack about drilling, you know? And this is back to my point. We don't have, like, nerd is different in the sense. We don't have, like, we don't have somebody who knows a lot about asteroids. We have Bruce Willis, and he drills, and he's the best goddamn driller there is. He is the best at what he does, and that's what's gonna save this fucking planet, is Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis goes in outer space at one point. Awesome. The scene where don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep. Aerosmith is playing, and Ben Affleck is playing with animal crackers on Liv Tyler's stomach. Peak cinema. Also, there's a gun in space. The final act is the stakes keep raising. An asteroid hitting the Earth was not enough for Michael Bay. He was like, no, we need to have espionage and intrigue, and the nukes don't work, and they have a certain time where they can set this off. And Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis are like mad at each other, but also he's like a son to me. Take care of my little girl. And Bruce Willis dies, so he's our old guy who bites it, even though he's not that old. Oh, it's so fun. This movie's fun. There's so many good little bits in this. If you were going to pick any disaster movie to just go and have a good time with, this is it. So let's go. Survivability. This is pretty damn survivable. Asteroid doesn't even hit the Earth. You know, they take care of that. So survivability, 10 out of 10. Ain't no thing. Stupidity. There's a few logical gaps in this, but honestly, everyone makes pretty good decisions the whole time. This is like a 2 out of 10 for stupidity. And then enjoyability, this is a 10 out of 10. No question, no doubt in my mind. I don't think I've ever sold this at all. Moving on. And I don't want to miss a thing, even when I dream. All right, folks, we're changing tactics on this one. We're going aliens. That's right, folks. It's Independence Day, yeah, America. Yeah, Independence Day. This came out in 1996. It was directed by Roland Emmerich. Thank you, Roland. Is that 2 Rolands we've had? Fascinating. Anyways, a nice stacked cast on this one. We got Will Smith, we got Bill Pullman, we got Jeff Goldblum, we got Margaret Collin, we got Judd Hirsch, we got Harvey Fierstein. And this movie checks a lot of boxes. We have divorce. Jeff Goldblum is divorced. He is also a nerd. We have a random pet that's there. We have dumb children. Kids actually aren't that annoying in this movie. We have death of old people. Yes, we do. This movie is so 90s. It actually should be a federal crime. Let's do a quick little plot summary of this because why not? Crazy phenomena is happening around the globe, and then suddenly, bam, alien invasion, baby. And the US of A has got to stop. We've got destruction of identifiable monuments. Thank you, White House explosion. Ka-chow, ka-chow. And we got Twin Towers on fire because this came out before 2001. Aliens want to destroy Earth. People don't want Earth to be destroyed. All happens on the 4th of July, baby. Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum is our resident nerd, and he is so sexy in this. He's so sexy. He's disheveled. He's got glasses on. There's a radio frequency coming in. I'm doing a terrible Jeff Goldblum, but you get, it's a lot of stuttering. It's a lot of, he's wearing plaid. Bill Pullman is in this. We love Bill Pullman. He says some classic president lines. He says, "Get me the general on the horn. May our children forgive us. God help us." Lots of those. There is a scene where they capture some of the aliens and they're experimenting on them, and then one of the aliens like possesses the scientists, and then Bill Pullman's sitting there on the other side of the glass, and he goes, "Is that glass bulletproof?" And one of the soldiers goes, "No, sir." And he goes, and then shoots the fuck out of the alien. Will Smith is great in this. Can't deny that. He's super fun. He's just having a blast. It's just all around cheerful. Like, it's people versus aliens. There's lots of explosions. There's chase scenes. There's Harvey Fierstein yelling at Jeff Goldblum. Harvey Fierstein dies. Wah. Sad face. There's some wacky bullshit where the first lady runs into Will Smith's baby mama, and she's like supposed to be dying, but she looks fine. First lady gets reunited with Bill Pullman, and Will Smith's baby mama gets reunited with him, and everybody's all happy, and then they're in the hospital, and the first lady's like, "Am I gonna be okay?" And Bill Pullman is like, "They say you're gonna be just fine." And she's like, "You're a terrible liar." And then she dies. No reason. I don't know why they wouldn't tell the woman who's having the medical crisis that she's not gonna live, but told her husband instead. I don't know. It was the 90s, I guess. Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum finally steal an alien ship and fly into the mothership, and then upload a virus that makes it so their force field goes down, and then we can shoot the hell out of them. And that's how the movie ends. I don't really think I need to say much more than that. I make my family watch this pretty much every year on the 4th of July. And this was the first year that I watched it where I was like, this movie is not as good as I remember it being. It's a fun, wacky, sci-fi 4th of July movie, so quit your fucking complaining. You get what you pay for with this. Survivability. Being in LA now, the survivability for me does not look great. I think this is maybe a 4 out of 10 survivability. I don't think if you're in one of the major cities, this is super survivable. Actually, you know what? This is like a 5 out of 10 survivability. If you evacuate when you're told to evacuate, you live. If you don't, you don't. You don't live. You get blown to fucking smithereens is what happens. How stupid the characters are in this movie. I mean, no one really does anything stupid in the context of the movie, but they say a lot of stupid things. This is probably like 5 out of 10 for stupidity as well. Like right in the middle of the road. It's a dumb movie, but no one's making really dumb decisions in the context. And then enjoyability, this is like a 7 out of 10 for me. It's just fun. You have to be in the mood for it, though. If somebody makes you watch this and you're not in the mood for it, you're not going to have a good time. Moving on. Yep, we're staying on theme here. We're sticking with aliens for a little bit. Next up is War of the Worlds 2005, starring Tom Cruise and directed by Steven Spielberg. I've got to say, I do love this movie. This movie's a blast. It just checks all the boxes. 1, we have divorce. Thank you. 2, we have annoying children. 3, we have a pet. Briefly, it's later in the movie, but it happens. We have destruction of identifiable monuments left and right. Things are getting blown up. Strained child-parent relationship. Oh my god, it's a huge focus of the movie. The first 45 minutes of this movie, 45 minutes of this movie, you are so locked in. They establish the sense of the world so well. Steven Spielberg, you're a genius. And H.G. Wells, too. Morgan Freeman narration randomly in the beginning of this movie. Tom Cruise plays basically a dad, an estranged father. He's a crane operator, and his name is Ray. It's like the most crane operator name of all time. And he's got custody of his 2 kids for the weekend while his ex-wife and her new husband go to Boston to visit her parents for something. She's pregnant, but he's watching his 2 kids, and one of them is Dakota Fanning. Dakota Fanning is his daughter, and her acting in this movie is f***ing incredible. And Justin Chatwin plays his son, Robbie. Robbie and Ray. Oh my god, it's 3 R's. Robbie and Ray and Rachel. That's crazy. Yeah, but they have a really strained relationship, and he's charged with watching them for the weekend, and then basically the world goes to shit. The whole storm sequence of them discovering the lightning, and he's like, where's the thunder? It's just, there's like not a lot of soundtrack going on, so it feels so visceral and real and just realistic of how people would react. Like some of the camera work, oh my god, this movie is so fun. I will say it always loses me a bit towards the end when we get and Robbie tries to join the army and then they gotta figure out how to defeat the tripods. I just don't care as much. Just watch the beginning of this, because that will teach you how to survive in a fucking apocalypse. People make stupid decisions. They're all standing there and like watching the tripod come out of the ground because they're gonna. I'm like, I would have been out of there when the ground started opening up. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why are we standing around? Like, what are we doing, people? We're all just standing around with our dicks in our hands, staring at the earth splintering open after we saw lightning strike in the same place 26 times. When this is happening, I am not hanging around to see what's coming next. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm hoofing it on foot. You do appreciate Tom Cruise, even when he's playing kind of a schmuck, the schmuck can still accomplish feats. Tom Cruise feats. He pulls it together for his kids, and that's what you love about this movie. Oh god, this is a good movie. A lot of them are other like cheesy, fun. Like, this is a good watch. You want a good alien movie? Go watch this. Let's give a final rating because I don't have much other to say about it than that. Survivability. This is like a 2 for me, maybe a 1. I think I would freaking die if this were to happen in real life. The tripods are scary. It happens fast. They do the EMP. You can't drive anywhere. You can't call anybody. Like, unless you hunker underground. If you get in a bunker when the attacks start happening, then you have, like, a higher chance, but then you're risk of starvation. This first, like, sweeping attack, like, God, I don't know how you're surviving that. That is some tough. Everyone's vaporizing around you. That scene where he comes home and he's, like, shaking, and the kid's like, what happened? What's all over you? And it's, like, the dust of the people who have been vaporized all over him. Anyways, survivability 2, not super high. Enjoyability, this is like a 9 out of 10 for me. It's just really intense and cool, and the tripod designs are cool, and you feel the intensity with Tom Cruise and his kids, and you care about the characters, and there's interpersonal conflict, and you see the aftermath. Like, this is just a good movie. So we're gonna move on to the really bad version of this. I threw this in there because my brother Ronan and I wanted to watch this just for funsies. This is the 2025 version of War of the Worlds by Amazon Prime with Ice Cube. I really don't have much to say about this movie. I don't think it's worth your time in any way, shape, or form. It's bad in a way that's funny for the first couple of minutes that you watch it, maybe the first couple of seconds, but then becomes genuinely irritating and offensive that Amazon as a corporation thinks that it can take creative rights like this and throw this schlop in our face. It is a bastardization of H.G. Wells' fantastic and engaging and interesting story turned into like a hour 45-minute Amazon Prime commercial. It is stupid, it is dumb, it is not even remotely innovative with the type of all-screen genre that they tried to capitalize off of. I heard that this was a pandemic movie, which makes a lot of sense because it seems like every actor was told to get on their iPhone and just record all of their lines straight from there, no matter where they were at any given moment. This movie is really bad and stupid. If you want to watch something and get angry about it, this is probably a good pick. Terrible CGI too. Looks like PSP CGI from 2007. I don't know, it's awful. And Ice Cube, Good and Friday. God, his acting is bad, and it's just bad. Eva Longoria, why are you in this? Who directed this? 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. Richly. That is rich. This is so bad. It's like an NSA and Amazon Prime fest where they're just jerking off in your face and all over your children and your wife. So bad. Ice Cube literally has a line, because he's like basically an omnipotent computer god, where Eva Longoria is like his weather friend for NASA. She's like, have you seen these storms that are coming up? And Ice Cube goes, I watch people, not the weather. His job is people, not weather, guys. Get that through your fucking thick skull, dumb. While we were watching it, my mom literally said, why did they make this movie? I don't understand. I hate this movie. I don't. Moving on. Enough. Next, we're going to be talking about The Day After Tomorrow, which came out in 2004, directed by Roland Emmerich. Have I said Roland already? Looks like Roland's like to direct disaster movies. Hey, this one stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid and Emmy Rossum and Cella Ward, who I can only ever see as House's ex-wife. This movie checks a lot of boxes. Dennis Quaid is Jack Hall, a climatologist, so a specialist in his field. We have a nerd. Check. Jake Gyllenhaal plays his son, Sam Hall, and he has a strained relationship with his father. And Cella Ward plays Dr. Lucy Hall, which is Dennis Quaid's wife, but they're kind of estranged. It's like The Parent Trap, but the end of the world. Dennis Quaid is a climatologist who's ignored by U.S. officials when he's like, the environment is going bad and the superstorm is gonna happen and the world's gonna die, basically, blah, blah, blah. And then Sam is like a little math leader or whatever because he's trying to get up on Emmy Rossum. He's trying to flirt up with her, so he goes to New York to do this little, like, debate team or whatever the it is that they do. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. He gets stranded in New York when the storm hits, so then Dennis Quaid has to go get him. We check a bunch of boxes. We got strained child-parent relationship. We got semi-divorce. I'm calling it because they don't live together and it's messy. It's implied to be messy. A nerd gets ignored almost immediately, warns everybody. Hollywood sign gets blown off the map, so ding, 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 ding. We got a sidekick death, too. Rip Frank falls straight through the top of, like, a mall building and cracks his head open. It's really quite sad, actually. I don't know how great the logic in a lot of this movie is. This was semi-interesting. I thought I hadn't seen this before, but then I definitely had. And it was one of those movies where rewatching it, just not that interesting. I think a lot of these movies are more engaging when you watch them with other people. Interesting starting scene. They're like in the Arctic and a big fissure forms and they're testing the ice. That's all very crazy. But when they got into like the stranded in New York aspect of it, I just didn't care as much. I feel like disaster movies, they either get better after the disaster strikes or they get worse or they just end. Kids are stupid. Check that box really well. Emmy Rossum gets her leg stuck in some filthy New York water and bleeds and then gets sepsis like an idiot. Stupid. And then they go onto this ship to try and get medicine for the shit that's like stuck in New York City because the New York City flooded and then the tidal wave froze. This movie's crazy. And then wolves chase them down. So check, stupid pet. We have wolves. Close enough. Close enough. I'm calling it. I've had enough of this. I like Dennis Quaid. I just wasn't super interested. I just didn't care that much when it came down to it. Like, it's a cool concept. Maybe it just hit a little too close to home with all the environmental warning and stuff. This is gonna be us in a few years. Less than that, and that's why you need to be watching this and writing this stuff down. Survivability, not looking too good. I'm saying this is like a 3 out of 10 on survivability. Some people survive, but I think if you're in a major city, LA was getting beat up by tornadoes in this movie. I think I would be dead. How stupid characters are? Like a 4. Enough people make the right choices that not everyone looks dumb. Enjoyability, I think if this was a first time watch, this could be like a 6. Honestly, watching it again, more like a 4. I was just kind of bored, shockingly enough. I'm not attracted to Jake Gyllenhaal, though. I think if I found Jake Gyllenhaal sexy, this movie would have been a lot more enjoyable for me. Benji agrees. We're going to move on. Rotate forward, see some more death, more destruction. I think I've said all I need to say about this. I just realized why the director's name is so familiar. This is the same guy who did Independence Day. So Roland Emmerich has a fucking hold on the end of the world destruction genre. Good for you, Roland. Good for you. Oi, we got 3 movies left. Let's make them quick. Let's make them snappy. And next we're talking about Volcano. Volcano, 1997. Look at that, baby. That's the 90s. Directed by Mick Jackson. Mick Jagger's weird cousin. This was a good one. I had not seen this before. The majority of these I had seen before. Volcano, on the other hand, was a first time watch for me, and I gotta say, it was a fun one. Cast, we got Tommy Lee Jones, we got Anne Heche, we got Don Cheadle, we got Keith David again. That's 2 Keith Davids. 2 Keith Davids in one day. Thank you, Keith. Anyways, this is a movie about Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California, baby. Massive earthquake rocks the city of LA. The emergency management department head, Tommy Lee Jones, returns from his vacation to help the city manage this response. And hey, she's our resident geologist, resident nerd, and she's like, hey guys, volcano gonna explode, the fault line's moving around and stuff, you need to check this out. And Tommy Lee Jones is like, okay lady, you're kind of cute, but I'm Tommy Lee Jones, I got stuff to do, I'm an emergency management department head. And then another severe earthquake causes that lava to explode, and then the city becomes a volcano. And the whole movie is about getting people away from that. Tommy Lee Jones' character is divorced, so check. Also, bring pagers back. There were pagers in this movie, and it made me happy to see them. Can we get on that? Anyways, Tommy Lee Jones is divorced. He's got a daughter. She's annoying as and stupid. Stupid kid. So check. Divorce. Stupid kid. Sidekick dies. Rip. In a pretty brutal freaking way. We got some pissed off generals. Everyone does a lot of stupid things in this movie, but it looks cool because we're using MIDI models, baby. Everything looks so much better when you're blowing up a tiny version of a large thing. Don Cheadle is fun in this. I love Don Cheadle, and he's not doing a weird Cockney accent like he does in Ocean's 11. There's lots of funny little gags in this. Good script. We have a random pet. Honestly, checks a lot of boxes, and it's just a fun movie in general. If you're an LA native, this is an important watch. You will survive the inevitable big one that's coming to get us. San Andreas Fault. She gonna get us one day. John Carroll Lynch is our sidekick Stan, and he dies. And I felt bad for Stan. Stan gets his legs melted off by lava. Hardest part to leave about this, though, is that anybody uses the LA subway. Is that a transplanty thing to say? Yes. Yes, it is, but I like subways in other cities, just not the one in LA. Also, why does nobody know what lava is in this movie? Anne Heche is talking about lava, and they're like, are we sure that's what this is? It's f***ing lava. What do you mean? What do you mean, are we sure? Literally, somebody says the line, we know that stuff is lava. What else would it be? Really hot dirt? I don't understand. Keith David has a great little line where he's screaming at somebody and they're like, why are you yelling at me? And he goes, convenience. Good cooking chef I love it. The volcano ends racism too in LA. Yay! Yay! The volcano ends racism. Yeah, there's a weird subplot where these cops are arresting this black guy, and then he like helps them with the lava later on when he's in their custody, and then they let him go, and they're like best buds. What the f? I guess the 90s were a different time, guys. I don't know. Maybe we should have a volcano explode because then racism will be solved. Anyways, this was a fun one. Survivability. This seems pretty survivable to me. Lava is slow moving. The earthquakes seem rough. I think this is like a 8 out of 10 for survivability. But there was like lava shooting from the sky in the beginning. That seems kind of scary. But besides that, it seems pretty survivable. Just like get out of the city. How stupid everybody is. Everyone's pretty dumb in this. I think this is like an 8 out of 10 on stupidity. People do, that's not fair. Tommy Lee Jones is like cool. Let's make it a 7. A 7 out of 10. Mainly because the kids are doing stupid stuff. The not knowing what lava is just kills me. There's a lot of pseudoscience fake jargon in this. It just sounds stupid. Enjoyability, this is like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's fun. Classic 90s. Good action sequences. Good explosions. The Tommy Lee Jones and Hayes chemistry could have been better. Also, it's kind of a weird age gap. But again, 90s. What am I going to do about that? Nothing. I'm not going to do anything. Would watch again. I don't know if it's just because I hadn't seen it before either. Pretty enjoyable. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff, Volcano. Moving on. We're running out of Dr. Pepper Hero here, guys. I'm losing my stamina. I can feel myself fading. Up next, though, we got another one that I'd never seen before. This is next. We're gonna be talking about The Core. This came out in 2003. It was directed by John Emile. I don't know. Interesting cast on this one. We got Aaron Eckhart, Harvey Dent, Hilary Swank. Stanley Tucci, Bruce Greenwood, Delroy Lindo is in this. It's super fun. See him here randomly. Those are all the important people I can think of. Aaron Eckhart plays Dr. Josh Keyes, who's a geologist, and an unknown force has caused the Earth's inner core to stop rotating. Our magnetic field is rapidly deteriorating, and the atmosphere's coming apart and people are being vaporized and a bunch of crazy stuff. The beginning of this sounded really interesting, honestly. We don't have a divorce, which should have been a warning sign immediately. I don't really know. This one does not check a lot of boxes. We're missing divorce. We're missing strained parent-child relationship. We have a scientist who's being ignored. Delroy Lindo has kind of been talking about this, and he's kind of ignored. Aaron Eckhart also gets ignored, but I don't know, we're just missing some zest here. There aren't really any stakes. They don't alert the public at all about what's going on. They have Rat, their little hacker, who wants to be called Rat, hide it from the world or something. And then they're going to use this mineral called unobtainium to like restart the core. They called it unobtainium. I don't know what the writers were on with this. Stanley Tucci's like smart and sexy, but has a bad lace front on in this for some reason. And him and Aaron Eckhart are like trying to tell a bunch of generals. So we have pissed off generals, which is good. Trying to tell a bunch of generals that the Earth's core has stopped spinning. And they're like, well, what does that mean for us? And they're like, the Earth is going to be vaporized. Like, it's going to change the atmosphere. Like, it's bad. And they're like, oh. And then Aaron Eckhart is like, it's going to be like this. And he takes a peach and a blowtorch and torches the peach. And then everyone is now they're like, oh, that peach? The peach is that hot? That going to be us? Oh, we need to fix this. We need to fix this now. So they put them all on a massive drill to the center of the core and like jumpstart the Earth. It is ridiculous. And I kind of love it for that. This is the movie that could have used the oil riggers. Like, why didn't they get Bruce Willis for this job? Because they don't know how to fucking operate this drill, trust me. They get Hilary Swank to operate the drill that Delroy Lindo designed with lasers. This movie is, I'm so off track here because it's so stupid. And no one knows what they're doing and they keep getting stuck and they run to this giant amethyst that's in the Earth and then they're inside of the amethyst and Stanley Tucci's like, holy shit. And then people just start dying left and right. Like, they just kill half the cast in this movie. Literally, spoiler, literally everybody dies except for Hilary Swank and Aaron Eckhart. And they don't even like each other. And they're supposed to be like kind of a romantic interest, but those motherfuckers do not like each other at all. I got really uninterested in the last 30 minutes. When they finally reach the court, it looks like they're on Mars or something. Stanley Tucci dies, Del Orlando, like literally everybody dies. Just not that good. Oh, we checked the box. Coliseum fucking explodes. They blow up the Coliseum because of the rays from the sun or something. Survivability, like a 7 out of 10. Doesn't seem that hard if you're up on the top crust. Few people get vaporized when the atmosphere is breaking, but I'd be fine. Stupidity, everyone's pretty dumb in this movie. Like an 8 out of 10. It just pissed me off. Everyone dies, and it pissed me off, and they didn't need to. It was stupid. 8 out of 10. Enjoyability, 6. Meh. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. Moving on to the best of the best. For this one, we gotta let our hair down a little. Oh yeah. This is Twister. The 1996 Twister. This movie is so good. You don't need anything else. You don't need any other disaster, end of the world. I mean, it's not end of the world, but it feels like the end of their world. I love it. I love it. It's so 90s, and everyone is so hot in this. First off, cast. Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Oh my god, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Carrie Ellis, Alan Ruck. Cameron is in this. Directed by Jean de Bont. I'm really not sure how to say his name, so I'm sorry. Here's a quick little summary. I'm just gonna read this pretty much verbatim. During the approach of the most powerful storm in decades, university professor Dr. Joe Harding, Helen Hunt, and an underfunded team of students prepared the prototype Dorothy, a groundbreaking tornado data gathering device that she created with her ex or estranged husband, Bill Paxton, whose character is also named Bill, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Harding tells Bill that Dorothy is ready for testing and that their privately funded rival, Dr. Jonas Miller, Carrie Ellis, has stolen the idea and built his own, so Bill has to rejoin the team. This movie has everything you could ever want. Not divorced, but they're estranged. He's trying to get divorced. He shows up with the papers, and his new fiance, who is actually super cool and not a bad person. And Joe is just caught up in her business. Like, she just wants to chase tornadoes. And she just wants Bill there with her. You don't understand. Tornadoes killed her dad. Oh my god, the tension. Everybody's soaking wet in this movie. You know, I love a rain scene. Everybody's wet. They're in tank tops in the 90s. There's the scene where they go to Joe's aunt's house and they all eat barbecue together. Oh my god. They tried to capitalize off of this by remaking this movie, in 2024 or something. It just doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi. We have a random pet. We have an old person almost biting it, but she doesn't. Chase scenes, the destruction of the movie theater. It's iconic. This movie is iconic. I love how it's shot. I love how it looks. I love the writing. It's a cheesiness, but it has a sincerity to it. It feels so intense. The Twister is a monster. They do like growling noises for the wind effects. It makes it so scary. It makes it so scary, and you're so scared for them. And everyone's so hot in this. Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt are literally like the hottest movie couple of all time. And you know what? You know what the truth is? That Philip Seymour Hoffman steals every scene that he's in. That man was magnet. 90s tank tops and layered bangs. I mean, I'm channeling inspired the cut. This is the Helen Hunt cut, baby. Dorothy, the tornado data tracking device, that's their kid. It's their child together. They gotta pull their marriage together for Dorothy. You don't understand. There's so many like yelling in the rain scenes. There's so many good like one-liners. I think we're going in. Cut to that. I think we're going in. Do yourself a favor. Watch this and Armageddon, and you've seen both sides of the coin. You've seen the highs and lows of high school football. Like, this movie is romantic, it's dirty, it's exciting, it's running in the rain and a sloppy kiss on the porch while the radio plays, the wind through your hair, smelling the dirt after a storm, the electricity in the sky, there's explosions, there's romance, there's drama. It has it all. This movie sustains me. I ain't got nothing left to say about it. Ratings for this: survivability, 10 out of 10. If you know on the path of the pista, you gonna win. That wasn't even English. Stupidity, 0. No one in this movie is stupid. Everyone is a genius and ruled by their passions. God, I'm gonna watch it again after this. And enjoyability, 10 out of 10. Right here in my veins. I would kill to be in a movie like this. Should have cast me and not Daisy Edgar Jones. That's all I gotta say. Nothing against Miss Daisy, but she ain't no Helen Hunt. Not that I am either. Lord knows I ain't. Final summary. Gave you guys the basic. These are the rules, and if you can't fucking follow them, then you're going to die in the apocalypse. Sorry, not sorry. I just like to have a little fun, and I was watching these with my dad, and I started to notice some patterns. So now, when you're in an apocalyptic situation, you can know what to look for in order to survive. Find yourself a divorcee, a random animal, and stay away from any national landmarks. That's all I have to say about that. More videos coming soon. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe before the world ends, please, which could be any day now. Okay, ta-ta kisses. Mwah. Bye-bye, mommy loves you.